DJ Khaled. What can I say? I have not been excited for a Khaled album in years, but I end up always checking them out in hopes of finding at least 3 to 4 songs that I could add to a gym playlist. Now, his last album, Khaled, was downright horrendous. So as a result, I had zero expectations for this new one, God Did, which is his 13th studio album. However, I did try my best to keep an open mind because the track list piqued my interest slightly, mainly due to the JayZ verse. Still, in my opinion, the best Khaled album was Major Key back in 2016. Grateful from the following year had some solid songs too. So there is this gospel theme that's loosely tied to this new project God Did that gives it just a little bit of continuity, and I can respect the spiritual sentiment when it is present. There are 13 songs lasting approximately 57 minutes, but with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. This opens with No Secret by Drake. It's a mere 47-second opener with Drake harmonizing over this church-like beat. It had potential, but it's just a short snippet, kind of a tease, but I guess it does segue nicely into God Did, the record with Rick Ross, Lil Wayne, and JayZ that have these internet streets going nuts. Now this has a plush, gospel-inspired soul beat that does have the signature DJ Khaled flavor. Like, you know, when he does assemble the right group of artists to make the best track that he can make. Starting off with the verse from Rick Ross, it was serviceable, but I preferred Wayne's much more, even though his use of auto-tune here was completely unnecessary. Wayne, you were way too nice to be doing this so often. I did like the following Wayne bars. Before they overrate me, they're gonna underestimate me, funeral and wake me, bury me and excavate me, but I'm so cultivating, everybody replicate me, face facts, dreadlocks, face tats, I'm the apex. But it was ultimately JayZ who stole the show, you know, giving us one of his better verses in recent memory. Now, was it as phenomenal as some of his fans have been saying on social media? No, especially not if you really paid attention to JayZ's classic verses over the years. But it's all right for now, as he is a 52-year-old billionaire. And I say this because oftentimes the bar is set so high for both Nas and JayZ verses that, you know, if they don't give us a 96 Nas or a 97 Ho verse, then people deem them to be trash verses. But I still consider this to be a dope JayZ verse. He's blessing us with some billionaire stove talk and some politically and socially charged bars as well, which is not unusual territory for Ho. Some of the following bars really grabbed my attention. I'm now careful with the sentences. Them the only jail bars I like. I never wanted to be the state custodian. The laws are draconian. And sometimes I feel like Farrakhan talking to Mike Wallace, which is in reference to the time Minister Farrakhan had to check Mike Wallace during an interview. You should definitely try to watch that if you already haven't. Also, there's the double or triple entendre of Out the Mud. They gotta face you, facial. Now you can't make up this shit. But it's easily one of the better songs off this compilation. Right after is Use This Gospel remix featuring Kanye, Eminem, produced by Dr. Dre. So this Dre production does have somewhat of an epic feel, and the hook from Ye sounds pretty heartfelt and genuine. And it was interesting to hear Eminem go into his spiritual bag, as I can't really recall the last time he did so. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent song as a whole with a dope verse from M. I don't love it, but I can see this one doing well. Track 4 is Big Time with Future and Lil Baby. Now this has a pretty lavish Atlanta trap feel. It's a banger, plain and simple, with a hook that is reminiscent to the Future hooks back in the 2010 era. You know, it's a lot catchier than some of his recent choruses, that's for sure. But I actually like the following, Keep Going, a little more. This features 21 Savage, Lil Durk, and Roddy Ricch over a tense and aggressive trap beat. Lil Durk has some specifically chilling lines like, I seen bitches get over their feelings for dudes some hours after they died. Damn, it just seems like there's no real love in those Chirac streets. Roddy Ricch came through with a catchy hook, and 21 Savage didn't drop the ball for his verse. I thought the following 21 line was clever. Court system and in my bedroom, the only place I lied in. Track 6, Party Time, is a fun and carefree banger with Takeoff and Quavo as they go on to the new Migos chapter without Offset. This samples from Eddie Murphy's upbeat 1980s hit single Party All the Time. And it was an interesting and fun record that you should check out if you were unaware that Eddie Murphy, the comedian, actually made music back in the 80s. The song was produced by Rick James, so you can only imagine all the drugs that was in that studio. But yeah, this one was cool for the sample, vibes, and flow. The subsequent song, Staying Alive with Drake and Lil Baby, is serviceable, but altogether pretty bland. There were no real fireworks here, but it's gonna be tolerable for the casual listener, I suppose. Still pretty watered down for a Drake single. Track 8, Beautiful with Future and SZA, actually works as a sentimental ballad, although it's about toxic love, of course. I like the feel-good soul chops, and I thought SZA delivered with a pretty impressive hook. Right after is It Ain't Safe with Narda Wick and Kodak Black. We get a menacing Take Keith instrumental. While Kodak's verse was decent, I actually preferred Narda Wick's, who has some silly ass similes like we look like some old people, everybody got a stick, and when I walk my chains go back and forth like an argument. It's simple but clever. Next is Let's Pray with Travis Scott and Don Toliver. This also features a beat from Take Keith that is a little more on the gothic trap side. As a whole, I would say it's a pretty forgettable record. For some reason, I feel Don Toliver and Travis Scott have been making the same types of songs over and over again. This is just my take. I'm sure some folks will really like it, but it doesn't do much for me at all. Then there is Fam Good, We Good with Gunna and Roddy Ricch. This is backed by a bright horn-laced trap beat that is catchy, and the hook from Gunna isn't half bad. It's definitely one of those songs, though, that you would just listen to for the vibes in the car. Thankfully, Khaled does decide to give the ladies some shine on the track Bills Paid. This features Lotto and City Girls talking their boss talk over the same beat that was used for Mr. Cheeks' Lights, Camera, Action. I feel Lotto was the clear star here, although the lyricism was a bit too overly sexualized for my taste, but I did like when Lotto said, swiping with no limit, like I'm Big Percy. They say I be curving dudes. Yeah, bitch, curvy. Lotto can definitely rap. Track 13 is Way Past Luck featuring 21 Savage over a hazy soul sample. It seems like 21 over soul sample production is a cheat code. He does offer a little bit of insight into some of the issues on his plate, stuff like fake friends, relationship woes, and raising his children. Altogether, the bars from 21 have shown improvement over the years, and I enjoyed this Street Runner production. Immediately after is The Streets Know My Name, which is like your obligatory dance hall track that accompanies every single Khaled album. It's not bad, but the predictability of it is just all too much. Then there is the posthumous Juice WRLD record, Juice WRLD Did, which is a 2019 song that Khaled had kept in the tuck. On the hook, Juice WRLD pays a ton of homage to Khaled, and he flexes his skill set on the verse, reminding us that Juice WRLD could also rap. He was more than a melodic auto-crooner. What comes next is the real highlight, Jadakiss interlude, where the versus champ, Jadakiss, spits some mean bars over a raw James Brown sample. Jada's bars are hard body and vivid, lines that really make you envision that project living in New York City. I'm the single parent household with nothing in the refrigerator. Pissy staircases smell like the incinerator. Grandma's in the back, hook up to the ventilator. Is one of the dopest songs on here, as Jadakiss sounded hungry and razor sharp lyrically. The second to last track is just talking between Khaled's kids. But the album ends with the song Grateful by Vori, who sings about his blessings on top of a sleek, soulful backdrop. It's a solid way to close things out, even though I likely won't return to it. Overall, I would give this album a rating of a strong 2.5 to possibly 3 mics. Look, it's worth checking out. There are some bright spots, but it's just got a lot of okay records that may appeal to some listeners more than me. In fairness though, I have to say, it is a much better compilation than his 2021 debacle and the one from the previous year. Sonically, God Did was more cohesive and played better front to back. Now, my main issue was the predictability of certain features. It's like there are many artists that Khaled continuously leaves out. Let's be clear, I'm not expecting him to put a bunch of underground MCs on it, but at the same time, let's get some new blood on here instead of the same usual suspect. Like, why not put someone like a Glorilla on here, as she is really blowing up on the Memphis scene, especially for the ladies, or even like a Key Glock. I mean, there are so many others, but those are just two that came to mind. As a whole, God Did is not bad, but just a little too commercial for my taste to really love it. I do like some commercial rap, but not when it's so run of the mill. But yeah, it's definitely safe to say that this one could have been worse. My favorite tracks include God Did, Keep Going, It Ain't Safe, Way Past Luck, and Jadakiss Interlude. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. DJ Khaled, God Did 1.